Hello. In this video, I'm going to cover creating a mailing list, often called a newsletter list, and then create a broadcast message to send to that list. When you drop into the email center, you see a few things. You see tabs listed: messages, mailing lists, sequences, and schedule. You want to click on the Mailing Lists tab. You see that I already have a couple lists created here that I manage. I can click on any of the mailing lists names to edit them. Let's create a list by querying our database. Click on the New List link here in the upper right. A modular window appears. First thing you want to do is give your list a name. Make it purposeful so you can refer to it later or find it later. I'll give this list the name Active Members. I'll enter a default sender name of Smart Association News. I'll enter a default sender email of, let's put in News Smart Association. This list I want to manage myself as an administrator, so I want to make it restricted. However, if you were to select public, you're saying that visitors to your site, non-members of your site, can add their email address to the list if they see the subscribe box appear in the public area of your site. It will appear if you have a public list. You could also provide links to this subscription area if you'd like. If you were to select members only, then your members, when logged into the members area, can put their email address on this list or subscribe to the mailing list, if you will. They would go to My Subscriptions in their My Info pages and find available mailing lists to subscribe to. Any ones that you create that are members only or public will be listed there. But I want to determine who's put on this list, so I want to make this restricted. The Auto List Maintenance option provides you with some configuration options if you enable it, but we'll leave that for another video. This list I want to maintain myself, again, as an administrator, so I'll disable this feature. I'm going to go ahead and click Save. Now your list and its basic configuration has been created. My History tab shouldn't have any messages or items in it because we've just created this list. As you create messages to send to the list, they will appear in this tabbed area. Let's click the Subscriber spot or tab. Here I can do a few things. I can add a single subscriber. I can build my list with this list builder. I can clear the list altogether, and I can export the list. Since this is a new list, I want to build my list. You see, I don't have anything listed here below. I'll click Build List. What we see next is a query form for your membership database. I can search in various ways by name, email address, and in this example site, city. But I want to use a query filter. There are some default parameters here, but let's make sure they meet my needs. I'm creating my active members, right? Let's make sure I pull in my active members. I'll click on the access level link to the left. In the following window, I see all the access levels that I've created and the default access levels that are required by the system. I just want to include active access level types, so I'm going to just select active and then click Save. To quickly uncheck these things, I can check them all and then uncheck and then go down and select active. I'll click Save. The little window closes and the query is run to see if the system finds any matches, and it does. I'll have a quick look at the results and make sure everything looks pretty good. Then I'll select all by clicking the checkbox. Then I see that a button, Add to List, appears, and I click Add to List. There we go. I've got 8 matches, and they were added to the list. If I need to add a single, I can by clicking Add Subscriber. I can use the build list to query for other records that may be another access level or maybe a particular membership plan. Maybe I want to search by a certain member data field. I would bring up my builder and click Add Filter, and I'll see a list of all the data fields that I have, and I can search by that. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and skip this part. It's important to note that the system will not add duplicate email records, so don't worry. I can do a couple of things by clicking on the MID number for any of these listings. I click on the number and I see that I can view the record in detail. I can mark as removed, or I can delete it from the list. Let me not forget to mention that when these lists get long, and most do, you can search by email address in this form field or last name to find a particular person. I'll close the window and you'll see that I have my new list with all the subscribers in it. Active members, 8 subscribers, and it's restricted. I can also delete the list at any time by clicking on the trash can. Of course, access to this area is determined by what privilege you as a logged in member have as an access level. Administrators, or 5.0 administrators, obviously have access to the email center. So that's one example of creating a mail list. Next, we'll look at creating a broadcast type message to send to that list.